Sometimes pain attempts are a roadblock on your journey through life. And one way to get back on track to your destiny is to equip yourself with the lion to overcome that roadblock.
I would like to introduce Dr. Al Marcello to the program. Dr. Marcello is the founder of the Marcello Integrative Medical Clinic in El Paso, Texas. I would like to start with the opioid crisis that is eating its way through the heart of America. Can you give us a brief history of opioid use in the United States?
Hi, Danny. Thank you for the invite. Yes, I want to start with the official documented use of opioids in America goes back to the 1860s, but we all know that the poppy plant that is used for the production of opioids has been in existence through life, right? So I'm sure it's before that, but the first documented history of it started in the 1860s. I'll fast forward you to 1914, where the Harrison Act was passed. This was really the official war on drugs. And this was the first time that opioid use was legislated. The crux of it was that opioid could not be prescribed for opioid addicts. The legislation caused a lot of confusion at the municipal level. And so there was an increase in doctors being harassed and prosecuted because of prescribing opioid. The loss was so unclear that some people even interpreted it as a moral law, such that if you're prescribing opioid to someone, really you're not doing any good for that person. That's how confusing the law was, and that's the kind of confusion that it caused. But the main target of that law was that the social order was being threatened, and the law was passed to reestablish the social order. I'll fast forward you to 1974, and that's when the Narcotics Addiction Treatment Act was passed, which cleared the way for the legalization of methadone to be used as a treatment for opioid addicts. I'll take you to the 1990s, when you saw a surge in the prescription of doctors writing prescription for opioid medication. Now, coinciding with that surge was a surge in people becoming addicted to opioid pills. And so you can see that it was proportional. Then to 2000, the FDA approved office-based treatment for opioid dependence, using specific FDA-approved medications such as Suboxone, which is being used quite a bit now. Even there's now an injectable form of Suboxone that opioid addicts can be given once a month, and it just releases the medication into the system for 30 days. So it's been really helpful. So that's basically a crux of the history. It's way more detailed than that, but I just gave you a summary of opioid use in the United States.
Can you discuss the numbers around the people who have died from opioid drug-involved overdose, including illicit drugs and prescription opioids?
Yes. Look, in 1999, there were less than 20,000 people who died from opioid and illicit drug overdose, okay? And this is illicit drug plus prescription opioid drugs that we're talking about. By 2020, there was 91,799 people who died, which was in the year 2020 alone. So that's 5 times as many people as in 1999. So I'll say that again. In 1999, there were less than 20,000 people who died from overdose. By 2020, there was 91,799 people who died from overdose in that 1 year, 2020 alone. 5 times as many people. So you can see the trajectory linked directly to the increase in the writing of prescription opioid medications.
For the sake of someone who got an injury within the past 24 hours, who's experiencing mild to moderate pain, what can they do other than taking medication to relieve their pain right now?
Okay, it's important to know that if you're experiencing mild to moderate pain from an injury, if it's a joint, if it's the back, which is very common, if it's within 48 hours, you should use a cold pack, not a heat pack. A cold pack is what you want to use. And if you don't have one, you can get one at a pharmacy. If not, you can actually put ice in a towel, put it at the place where you're hurting from that injury. You don't want to put ice directly on your skin. You don't, because you can damage the skin. wrap it in a towel and place it there. But cold pack for the first 48 hours. You can do that right now and see if you get some relief from that.
Sometimes pain attempts a roadblock on your journey through life. And one way to get back on track to your destiny is to equip yourself with the lion to overcome that roadblock.